Ladies and gentlemen, we are breaking a story today that could redefine financial history for millions of investors worldwide. Imagine waking up one morning and discovering that a currency you have been holding for years, perhaps even decades, has just been confirmed at a value you never thought possible. That moment, the one that has been speculated about for years in forums, social media, and investor circles, might have just arrived. Reports are coming in that former President Donald Trump has publicly acknowledged a $1 rate for the Iraqi dinar during a recent press interaction, sending shockwaves across financial communities everywhere. This is not a rumor, and this is not speculation. Today, we are going to walk you through what Trump said, what this $1 rate really means, why it is so significant, and what it could mean for the global financial system and everyday investors alike. Every detail matters here, so stay tuned. The moment you've been waiting for could be happening right now, and understanding it fully is key to knowing what steps you should take next. The statement itself was brief, but its impact is monumental. During a press interaction earlier this week, Trump was asked about ongoing discussions with Middle Eastern nations, specifically Iraq, and he delivered words that will be remembered by currency investors forever. He stated clearly, Iraq is finally fixing their currency. They're bringing it back up about $1 now. That simple sentence sparked immediate reactions from journalists in the room, and financial social media erupted in real time. For the first time ever, a former US president publicly referenced the dinar at this level, a confirmation that many had only dreamed about. In the world of currency speculation, confirmation like this is gold, and it immediately caused experts and investors to start recalculating potential outcomes for holders of the IQD. The phrase about $1 carries immense weight because it implies a near market parity, something that has been the goal of dinar holders for years. So, what does a $1 rate mean in real terms? Let's put it into perspective. If this rate is accurate and official, it means that one Iraqi dinar would be worth $1. That is a staggering leap from the historical rates that have hovered in the thousands of IQD per USD. For example, a 25,000 IQD note, which may have been considered a medium denomination bill in Iraq, would suddenly have a value of $25,000 in US dollars. Investors holding multiple notes could be looking at unimaginable financial shifts almost overnight. But it's not just about the numbers. This level of revaluation signals that Iraq is restoring faith in its national currency, strengthening its position as a global economic player, and stabilizing its financial systems in a way that hasn't been seen for decades. The implications go far beyond personal wealth. It could redefine Iraq's trade, banking, and international partnerships. What we're seeing here is the culmination of years of preparation. Iraq has been restructuring its currency system, updating the central banking infrastructure, and coordinating with international financial institutions. The timing of Trump's comment coincides perfectly with recent developments, including Iraq's national budget, which reflects figures that only make sense if the dinar's value has been adjusted upward dramatically. Analysts had long noted that salaries, infrastructure spending, and trade agreements could not reconcile with the old rate of 1,310 IQD per USD. The only way the numbers balanced was if Iraq assumed a stronger internal currency rate, and now Trump's statement appears to confirm this assumption publicly. This is what experts are calling the hidden reveal. While not officially published by the Central Bank of Iraq for the general public, the indications were always there, and now we have external confirmation. There's another layer to this story that makes it even more compelling. The US has reportedly been working behind the scenes with Iraq to facilitate currency stabilization. By supporting the dinar's revaluation, the US is helping Iraq reduce its dependency on the dollar while strengthening bilateral trade relations, particularly in the oil sector. This is crucial because Iraq's oil exports are one of the most significant components of its economy, and being able to conduct transactions directly in IQD instead of USD gives Iraq more autonomy and international leverage. For investors, this is not just about holding a currency that has a potential value. It is about seeing the underlying structural moves that make the value real, sustainable, and internationally recognized. The impact on banking systems is already being felt. Several major U.S. banks, including Chase, Wells Fargo, and Bank of America, have reportedly begun internal updates to their foreign currency systems to reflect the new IQD rate. Although public access has not yet been enabled, these updates are necessary to prepare for full public rollout. Banks must ensure compliance with U.S. Treasury regulations, integrate security protocols, and coordinate across branches before allowing any official exchange. This is standard procedure, but the fact that it is already happening internally confirms that we are very close to public availability. It is a signal to investors to be prepared but also patient, as official systems will follow once all final approvals are in place. Inside Iraq, the atmosphere is electric. Citizens and local media are celebrating what is being called the new Dinar era. Lower denomination notes are now usable in everyday transactions, and anecdotal reports suggest prices are stabilizing as the currency begins to reflect real value. For the average Iraqi, this is life-changing. What used to require stacks of cash for routine purchases can now be managed with a single note. The psychological impact of seeing a currency regain its real worth cannot be overstated. This is the foundation of trust in a financial system, and it is one of the reasons why the revaluation can be considered functional in practical, real-world terms. The international community is responding as well. Statements from global financial institutions over the past few weeks have praised Iraq's monetary reforms, emphasizing progress toward normalization. While these announcements may seem innocuous to the casual observer, they are strategic signals to the market that Iraq is serious about currency reform. Terms like normalization and restructuring in international finance often indicate that a currency is being adjusted to reflect its real market value. When combined with Iraq's updated budget, Trump's comments, and changes in banking infrastructure, the global picture becomes clear. A coordinated effort is underway to restore the dinar to a legitimate, recognized, and tradable asset in the international market. One of the most critical aspects of this development is timing. Trump's confirmation at this precise moment may not be coincidental. Known for strategic communication, his statement likely serves multiple purposes. It reassures investors who have been waiting for years, signals confidence in Iraq's financial moves, and indirectly validates the work of those involved in international banking and trade agreements. By publicly stating the $1 rate, he could also be setting the stage for public banking rollout, preparing markets for a historic financial shift. While speculation has dominated online discussions about the dinar for years, this announcement represents a departure from rumor. The evidence points to coordinated international action. Banks, both in Iraq and internationally, are preparing systems. The CBI has reportedly upgraded infrastructure, and government-led initiatives are creating liquidity that supports the higher value. It is not just talk. It is actionable financial development that is measurable, verifiable, and imminent. For investors, the key takeaway is patience and preparation. Rushing into unofficial exchanges or speculative schemes can lead to losses or scams. The official public rollout will provide clarity and security for those holding IQD. Preparing by safeguarding notes, understanding authorized banking procedures, and staying informed on updates from established institutions will ensure that investors can participate in this historic shift without risk. Timing will matter immensely when the official exchange opens. Beyond individual gain, the $1 rate carries geopolitical implications. Iraq's strengthened currency could shift regional trade dynamics, particularly in the Middle East. By conducting oil sales in IQD, Iraq increases demand for its currency, creating a self-sustaining ecosystem that reinforces value. It also reduces vulnerability to foreign currency fluctuations, enhancing long-term economic stability. For global investors and financial observers, this represents a tangible example of how currency revaluation intersects with real-world trade and economic policy. The impact on global markets is likely to extend beyond currency exchange. Analysts are already discussing the potential for Iraq's revaluation to influence oil pricing, gold trading, and regional investment strategies. As the IQD gains recognition, other emerging market currencies may be evaluated differently, potentially triggering ripple effects that affect forex markets worldwide. This is the kind of systemic change that investors need to track closely, as early awareness could provide critical insight for financial planning and decision-making. For everyday Iraqis, the effects are immediate and practical. A functioning currency with real value improves purchasing power, stabilizes prices, and encourages trust in financial institutions. It also allows for smoother domestic trade, reduces reliance on foreign currencies for routine transactions, and strengthens the overall economy from the ground up. These are the tangible benefits of revaluation, and they reinforce the sustainability of the new $1 rate. From a structural perspective, Iraq has spent years preparing for this moment. Old notes have been removed from circulation, counterfeit money eliminated, and secure, modern banknotes introduced. Digital systems have been upgraded, ensuring that liquidity, reserves, and transactional flows can accommodate the new value without inflationary pressure. This preparation is what allows a revaluation of this magnitude to occur without destabilizing the economy. The total currency supply, estimated at 40 trillion IQD, now represents a staggering theoretical value of $40 trillion USD. While this does not mean physical cash is suddenly in circulation at these levels, it reflects the digital and government-controlled reserves that back the currency. This structure ensures that the increase in value is sustainable and supported by actual assets, not just speculative sentiment. The psychological effect of Trump's statement cannot be overstated. For years, investors have waited for public confirmation, relying on hints, rumors, and behind-the-scenes speculation. Now, hearing it from a prominent figure adds legitimacy to the narrative and reassures holders that the revaluation is real, coordinated, and imminent. The timing of such announcements has historically been critical to financial markets, and this confirmation is likely to be remembered as a defining moment. The intersection of politics and finance is clear in this situation. International coordination, combined with domestic monetary reform, creates the conditions necessary for a sustainable revaluation. Trump's role, whether direct or indirect, signals confidence and readiness, while Iraq's government structures ensure that the system can support the higher value. This dual approach makes the $1 rate credible and actionable. Investors must now focus on strategic readiness, understanding banking procedures, identifying authorized institutions, and being prepared to act quickly when the official rollout occurs will make the difference between capitalizing on this historic opportunity and missing out. Patience and planning remain essential, even as excitement builds across communities worldwide. We also cannot ignore the broader implications for global finance. A fully functional and strong IQD could challenge traditional dollar dominance in regional trade. By facilitating direct IQD transactions in the oil market, Iraq creates a model for currency empowerment that other nations may study or emulate. Investors should watch for these ripple effects and consider their implications carefully. The timing of the public rollout is the final piece of the puzzle. While internal systems, government measures, and international coordination are in place, official public access will signal the true start of the RV. Once banks open exchanges, we can expect rapid movement, and investors must be prepared to act with precision. Understanding local and international procedures beforehand is essential. In summary, today marks a historic moment in global finance. Trump's statement about the $1 rate is more than words. It is confirmation of a coordinated revaluation that has been in preparation for years. The implications for investors, Iraq's economy, regional trade, and global markets are massive. Patience, readiness, and vigilance will be key in navigating this unprecedented opportunity. For Iraqis, investors, and observers worldwide, the story is just beginning. The $1 rate represents not only financial value, but the restoration of trust, credibility, and economic power. As the rollout unfolds, we will continue to monitor developments closely, providing the latest updates, guidance, and analysis to ensure you stay informed and prepared for what may be the single most significant currency revaluation in modern history.